Good evening, friends. Welcome to the weekly media briefing. I will begin with an announcement on Operation Sankat Mochan. Operation Sankat Mochan, which began at the crack of dawn today, is now successfully underway. Two C-17 Globemaster aircrafts of the Indian Air Force left for Juba at 5 a.m. and at 7 a.m. from Delhi. On board were General V.K. Singh, Minister of State for External Affairs, Shri Amar Sinha, Secretary ER, Shri Satbir Singh, Joint Secretary WANA, West Asia and North Africa, and other officials. The first flight has already landed in Juba, and the second flight will be landing in the next 10 minutes. The aim is to evacuate all the Indian nationals who have expressed their interest in leaving South Sudan. The evacuation has been meticulously planned in coordination with the local authorities, as well as the support of the Indian peacekeeping contingent in the UNMISS, which is the United Nations mission in South Sudan. Soon after landing, General V.K. Singh met the Foreign Minister of South Sudan, Mr. Deng Alor Kuol. He also met Vice President James Wani Iga. The first aircraft is scheduled to depart Juba very shortly. Both aircrafts will first travel to Entebbe in Uganda for a refueling halt of approximately 3 hours. From Entebbe, they will depart for India, first landing in Thiruvananthapuram early tomorrow morning, and thereafter coming to Delhi. This entire operation has been conducted under the direct supervision of the External Affairs Minister, Srimati Sushma Swaraj, who, as you know, had formed a high-level task force to monitor the situation in South Sudan, which had deteriorated in the last few days. In our assessment, this was an opportune time to arrange for the evacuation, especially since the ceasefire is holding and there is a lull in hostilities. Operation Sankat Mochan has underscored once again the government's proactive approach towards helping Indians in distress anywhere in the world. That is my only announcement. The floor is now open to questions. Mukesh?
Sir, Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is convening a cabinet meeting on Kashmir. Their foreign office is briefing P5 countries. How do you react to this effort of Pakistan to internationalize the Kashmir issue? And in this backdrop, do you see any likelihood of foreign secretary visit to Pakistan in near future, far future, or any future?
Look, I will say that I will characterize this as a self-serving exercise for narrow political ends. And let me make 3 very clear points. First, terrorism is terrorism. No amount of parsing or justification on the part of Pakistan is going to change that. Second, our internal affairs are solely ours to handle. Any effort by any other party claiming it as theirs or trying to interfere and seeking to internationalize the issue will not change that reality. And thirdly, the world today has a very clear view on which country in our region covets the territory of others, uses terrorism as an instrument of state policy, provides sanctuary to UN-designated terrorists and terrorist groups, and violates human rights. Insofar as the prospect of dialogue with Pakistan is concerned, let me reiterate, India has never shied away from dialogue with Pakistan. However, it is incumbent upon Pakistan to create the right atmosphere for a productive dialogue to take place, because as we have repeated on innumerable occasions in the past, talks and terror cannot go hand in hand. Vinita?
Because the Pakistan Foreign Secretary had summoned a High Commissioner in Islamabad, so do we also plan to call Mr. Basit and have a talk with him?
Yes, our High Commissioner was summoned to the Pak Foreign Office on the 11th of July. A démarche was made on him on the situation in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. Our High Commissioner had responded that the matter is a domestic issue, internal to India, that Pakistan has no locus standi in the matter. Our High Commissioner had also stated that India rejects the démarche. For the same reason that this is a domestic issue, internal to India, we see no reason to involve Pakistan, which has no locus standi in the matter.
So we are not summoning there.
Mahasadiki.
So there was a report published today suggesting that India will provide evidence to Pakistan to show that Burhan Wani's killing was not extrajudicial. Are there any truths in this report?
I think I've already answered that question in response to the previous question. This is a matter internal to India. Pakistan has no locus standi. We see no reason to involve Pakistan in this issue. Aditya?
So you have seen reports on Times Now about the two most wanted terrorists, Hafiz Saeed and Syed Salahuddin, holding this meeting in Muzaffarabad. Thereafter, Hafiz Saeed has also had a meeting in Lahore, day before yesterday, and Islamabad. Now he has called a nationwide protest and again, anti-India rhetoric on Friday as well. How does India see this? And also the Prime Minister was briefed by the Foreign Secretary recently on the developments taking shape. So does India believe that there are elements within Pakistan fueling the trouble in Kashmir that has been seen in the recent days?
Well, we've also answered this question before, that these incidents show Pakistan's continued attachment to terrorism and to giving sanctuary to UN-designated terrorists and elements whose only job is to foment violence and intimidation and terrorism. And it is incumbent upon Pakistan to rein in such elements, because if there has to be a durable peace, then obviously such elements would have to be controlled. Manish.
सर, बुरहान वानी को मारे जाने के बाद जो कश्मीर में हालात बिगड़े थे, तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने भी इस बात को लेकर चिंता जताई थी कि एक आदमी जिस पर कई सारे टेरर केसेस और दूसरे तरह के केसेस हैं, उसको कैसे हीरो के तौर पे पेश किया जाए। आखिर भारत के पास बुरहान वानी के खिलाफ किस तरह के केसेस हैं, क्या डिटेल है कि वो किस तरह का क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड वाला आदमी था?
नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से उनके खिलाफ कई तरह के क्रिमिनल केसेस हैं, लेकिन उनका पूरा ब्यौरा आपको गृह मंत्रालय दे सकता है, विदेश मंत्रालय नहीं दे सकता, क्योंकि ये गृह मंत्रालय का मसला है, विदेश मंत्रालय का मसला नहीं है।
सर, मेरा नाम आकाश श्रीवास्तव है। सर, जैसे कि आपने अभी सूडान में रेस्क्यू को लेकर बताया, इससे पहले यमन में विदेश मंत्रालय ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया था। सर, पिछले 2 साल में विदेश मंत्रालय जितनी तेज़ी से इस तरह का काम कर रहा है, इससे पहले कभी उसकी तेज़ी नज़र नहीं आई। क्या कारण है कि पिछले 2 साल से काम काफ़ी तेज़ी से विदेश मंत्रालय ने किया है? थैंक यू सर।
नहीं, देखिए, ये सरकार जो है वो तेज़ी से कार्य करने में विश्वास रखती है, तेज़ी से कार्य हो रहे हैं। हाँ,
So I was just curious to find out if any Muslim country, Islamic country has taken up this issue with India about the violence in Kashmir apart from Pakistan.
no, we have just seen a statement by the OIC. Some special rapporteur has just made a statement on the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. Our response is what we have been saying in the past. They have no locus standi in the matter. We do not need gratuitous advice from anyone.
But no mission in Delhi has taken. Okay.
Yeah. Manman.
सर, साउथ चाइना सी को लेकर जो फैसला आया है उस पर चीन ने अपने पक्ष को साफ कर दिया है। भारत का उस पर क्या स्टैंड है? और जापान के रक्षा मंत्री भारत में हैं, तो क्या उनसे भी कुछ बातचीत हुई है भारत के रक्षा मंत्री की?
देखिए, जहाँ तक जापान के रक्षा मंत्री का भारत में आगमन का प्रश्न है, वो तो आपको रक्षा मंत्रालय ही उसकी सूचना दे सकते हैं कि किस तरह की उनकी मीटिंग्स हैं, किस तरह के डिस्कशंस होंगे। वो तो रक्षा मंत्रालय का क्षेत्र है, तो उनसे ही आप जानिए। और जहाँ तक साउथ चाइना सी पर जो आर्बिट्रल अवार्ड आया है उसका प्रश्न है, उस पर 12 जुलाई को मैंने एक काफ़ी कॉम्प्रहेंसिव वक्तव्य उस पर एक दे दिया है, और उसके अलावा मुझे और कुछ नहीं कहना है उस पर। ऋतु, राइट?
My question is this: has the foreign ministry discerned any change in Pakistan's strategy vis-a-vis Kashmir? That was about being, training the terrorists and everything. Now we have seen a trend where all the terrorists are mostly Kashmir, homebred terrorists as we call them. So do you think that there has been certain change in Pakistan's strategy?
No, I think this has been part of the continuing strategy of Pakistan. Not only are they infiltrating terrorists from across the border, but they have also been, fanning discontent or whatever you may call it within the valley by, providing various support to terrorist outfits. Yeah.
Sir, this Bangladesh massacre, after that, is there any possibility of any joint mechanism on counter-terrorism in any formal ways?
See, the Honorable President, Prime Minister, and External Affairs Minister had condemned the terrorist attack at the Holy Artisan Restaurant in Dhaka on the 1st of July, as well as the terrorist attack which took place during the Eid congregation at Sholakia Kishorganj on July 7 in strong terms, and had conveyed heartfelt empathy and condolences to those who lost their loved ones and wished those injured a speedy recovery. After the July 1 terror attack, External Affairs Minister had conveyed to the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh that India stands firmly with Bangladesh in this hour of grief and will work shoulder to shoulder with the government of Bangladesh against terrorism and to protect our societies from the threat of ideologies of hate, violence, and terror. EM had also mentioned about the need to adopt a zero-tolerance policy and a comprehensive approach in fighting terrorism at all levels. As you know, we have an ongoing dialogue with Bangladesh on all security-related issues, but no specific request has come from Bangladesh after the July 1 terrorist attack. Pranay?
So again on the South China Sea issue, the China has rubbished the award by the arbitral tribunal and said that it is not going to honor. And it's also been reported that China could announce, or China has announced some unilateral actions. So what is Government of India's response to any possible unilateral action by China?
Well, the authority of the Annex 7 Tribunal and its award is recognized in Part 15 of the UNCLOS itself. And India's own record in this regard is also well known. I don't have to dwell on that. As far as the second part of your question is concerned about some unilateral actions being taken, etc., I would refer you once again to the comprehensive statement that we issued on the 12th of July. Geeta?
Vikas, we know that in the past, High Commissioner of Pakistan has engaged the separatists, the Hurriyat leaders. Now, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has also spoken with Mirwais Umar Farooq and also expressed condolence and solidarity. Reaction of the Indian government with political leadership of Pakistan engaging separatists?
Well, our position is very well known. India is prepared to discuss all outstanding issues, including Jammu and Kashmir with Pakistan, but there are only two parties to this dialogue, India and Pakistan. Thirdly, that talks and terror cannot go hand in hand. These are the three cornerstones of our policy vis-à-vis Pakistan. We stand by that. Kalol.
So this morning, the Chinese envoy in Delhi said that there is a lot of similarity between China's position on the verdict on South China Sea and the statement that India has issued on South China Sea, because you are not really very strongly contesting the Chinese position. You are focusing on the international law and the UNCLOS and etc. So is there a similarity between the two, or are you really pointing out that?
Look, for us, this is not an issue of being in favor or against any particular country. It is about the use of the global commons. It is not a matter of politics. It is a matter of law. Ours is a principled position deriving from India being a state party to the United Nations law on the Convention of the Sea. As a state party, we believe that all parties should show utmost respect to the UNCLOS, which establishes the international legal order of the seas and oceans.
सर योगेश भारद्वाज, जिस तरीके से ये 1500 पासपोर्ट आतंकवादी गतिविधियों में शामिल लोगों के जो निरस्त किए जा रहे हैं, जो सूचना आई है विदेश मंत्रालय के पास, गृह मंत्रालय के थ्रू, तो क्या ये अभी
मुझे पास सूचना नहीं, आपने क्या 1500 लोगों के पासपोर्ट जब्त किए जा रहे हैं?
इस तरह की सूचनाएं रद्द करने की बात चल रही है, खबरें चल रही हैं इस तरह की, तो क्या ये सत्य है? और यदि ये सत्य है तो ये अभी विदेश मंत्रालय ने पासपोर्ट वेरिफिकेशन के लिए नया नोटिफिकेशन निकाला कि पुलिस वेरिफिकेशन बाद में होगा, तो क्या आप समझते नहीं है कि इस तरीके से भी पासपोर्ट बन जाएंगे? जो आतंकवादी इस योजना का लाभ उठा के विदाउट पुलिस वेरिफिकेशन पासपोर्ट को यूज़ कर लें, तो विदेश मंत्रालय का क्या इस ओर ध्यान है? और ये 1500 पासपोर्ट हैं, ये इसके बाद
देखिए, पहली बात तो आपको ये समझना चाहिए कि विदेश मंत्रालय कोई इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी तो है नहीं। विदेश मंत्रालय पासपोर्ट्स एक्ट को एडमिनिस्टर करती है, लेकिन यदि कोई देश की इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी, लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसी हमको कोई सूचना देती है कि फ़लाँ शख्स जिनका पासपोर्ट नंबर ये है वो क्रिमिनल गतिविधियों में संलग्न हैं या उनके खिलाफ़ कोई वारंट है और हमसे अनुरोध करती है कि उनका पासपोर्ट विड्रॉ किया जाए, तो फिर पासपोर्ट अधिनियम के अंतर्गत जो कानून हैं कि आप पहले नोटिस देते हैं, शो कॉज नोटिस देते हैं, उसके बाद उनका रिप्लाई देते हैं, और उसका रिप्लाई अगर आपको सही नहीं लगा तो फिर आप पासपोर्ट जो है इम्पाउंड कर सकते हैं या रिवोक कर सकते हैं। तो उसी प्रक्रिया के तहत ये होगा। लेकिन ये कहना कि क्योंकि ऐसा हो रहा है तो फिर जो आम जनता है उनको इनकन्वीनियंस किया जाए, किसी का पासपोर्ट हम ना इशू करें, क्योंकि जो 3 दस्तावेज़ हम लोग ने कहे हैं जिनके आधार पर आपको प्री वेरिफिकेशन यानी कि पोस्ट वेरिफिकेशन होगा और आपको पासपोर्ट तत्काल मिल जाएगा, वो है आधार कार्ड, पैन कार्ड और वोटर आईडी कार्ड, और उसके साथ आपको एक एफिडेविट देनी है। तो हमें लगता है कि ये प्रक्रिया अच्छी है और इस तरह से आम जनता के लिए बहुत सहूलियत होगी इससे, और इसको चलना चाहिए। और जैसे कि पासपोर्ट इशू हो सकता है उसी तरह पासपोर्ट रद्द भी किया जा सकता है, रिवोक भी किया जा सकता है। तो यदि अगर हमें कोई इस तरह की सूचना आती है तो फिर पासपोर्ट एक्ट के अंतर्गत जो प्रक्रिया है वो प्रक्रिया को हम फॉलो करते हैं। उस पर मेरे पास कोई जानकारी नहीं है, मैं पता लगाऊंगा इसके बारे में।
There was a statement from Chinese Deputy Foreign Minister that war-like situation may develop in South China Sea. So in the light of this statement, how do you view the evolving security situation in South China Sea? Is it a matter of concern for India?
No, I have already mentioned this in my statement on the 12th of July, where I have said that India believes that states should resolve disputes through peaceful means without threat or use of force, and exercise self-restraint in the conduct of activities that could complicate or escalate disputes affecting peace and stability. I mean, you can't have a clearer statement than that, that no unilateral action should be taken which can, further cause tensions in the area. Sachin.
So, getting into the specifics a little bit, what is our position on China's constant refrain that UNCLOS actually is not even applicable in this case because this involves sovereignty issues? Thank you.
You are not following my answers closely, Sachin. I have already said that the authority of the Annex 7 Tribunal and its award is recognized in Part 15 of the UNCLOS itself. So the answer is very much there. Akhilesh.
So again, there is a situation in Nepal that political uncertainty is growing in the country, and there has been no confidence motion against the Prime Minister. So do you think that there is an impact on India's relationship with Nepal, and do you have any suggestion or any talk with the Nepal?
No, we believe these are internal political developments in Nepal, and how can we comment on something which is internal to Nepal? Haven't you already asked a question? I'll see.
Sir, some families from Kerala have already complained that 21 persons are missing from the state, and they might have joined Islamic State, and they went to Iraq or Syria through Tehran. So has the Foreign Ministry
the Foreign Ministry does not have any information in this regard. I have also seen these reports. I think such matters are investigative by our security agencies, and it would be best for you to get information from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
So when will be the next Indo-Sri Lankan Fisherman Coordination Committee meeting?
At the 9th India-Sri Lanka Joint Commission held in February 2016 in Colombo, both the foreign ministers had agreed to work towards a permanent solution to the fishermen issue. It was also agreed that the Sri Lankan Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development will be invited by his Indian counterpart, the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare to India, for discussions to work towards a permanent solution on the fishermen issue. This approach was reiterated during the discussions between Prime Minister Modi and President Sirisena in May 2016. Our Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare has been advised to extend an invitation letter to the Sri Lankan minister. So I expect when the Sri Lankan Fisheries Minister comes to India, both sides will engage in substantive discussions on this issue, which both sides are very keen to find a long-term solution to. Arunim.
This is regarding Nepal again. Today, KP Sharma Oli has directly said that India is behind the toppling of his government. So what is our position on that?
I have not seen that statement, and even if there is such a statement, we categorically reject such a statement. Okay, Maha. Okay, good. Okay, I think that takes care of it all. So thank you all.